I found him kneeling in a Nevada draw, mouth green, canteen empty. Beside him lay the paperback that killed him, a survival novel that swore cactus pulp was water. He was throwing up what little he had left. I set my pack down and started reading the ridgeline he should have been reading 2 hours back. That book taught a generation the wild is a puzzle with clever answers. It is not. Subscribe and stay with me for the full 10. I'll show you the water rule every novel gets backwards and the direction every lost hiker runs wrong. Number 10. Suck the venom out. Every action hero pulls a knife and puts his mouth to the wound. Every ER doctor I've ever met puts his head in his hands when he hears it. Venom binds to tissue in seconds. Suction pulls maybe 1 or 2% of it back and drives the rest deeper into torn muscle through the blood vessels under your tongue. I watched a trapper take a cottonmouth to the calf down on the Sabine bottoms. His friend cut an X and sucked. By dawn, that leg was black and purple, and the X was infected worse than the bite. The knife did more damage than the snake. That one's from the movies. The next one's from the survival channels. Number 9, drink your own urine. This trick made the rounds on cable in the 90s, and men have been dying by it ever since. Here's the physics. Your body sweats out water and dumps the salts and waste in your urine. When you're already dehydrated, that liquid is more concentrated than seawater. Drinking it forces your kidneys to work harder with less water, and you slide downhill faster than if you'd drunk nothing at all. I met a young man outside Barstow who told me proudly he'd made it 3 extra days on his own water. He'd made it about 6 hours. The bottle in his warm pack smelled like a hospital hallway. A television show is a show. Your kidneys are not. Number 8, moss grows on the north side. Every scout leader I ever crossed paths with told the boys that if their compass failed, the moss would point them north. It won't. Moss grows where it stays cool and damp. On an open plain, sure, the north face of a trunk stays shaded, and that's where you'll find it. But drop into a mixed hardwood hollow, or a north-facing slope where the whole hillside is shaded, or a place where prevailing wind drives rain sideways, and moss will grow on whatever side gets the moisture. I walked a friend around one hill above my cabin once and showed him 4 trees within 20 steps, each with moss on a different side. He put his phone away for good after that. Your phone dies. So does this rule. Don't stake your life on either. Stop and notice what those first 3 have in common. Every one of them tells you to do something dramatic. Cut, suck, drink, read the moss. Every one of them is wrong because the answer was to do less, sooner. Notice the shade of the sky before your canteen is empty. Turn back before the trail turns to switchbacks. That's the whole trade. The tricks don't work because they're aimed at the wrong moment. The next ones are worse because they sound like planning. Number 7, cactus water. This one killed the man I told you about at the start. Most of what people call a cactus in the desert isn't a canteen. Prickly pear pads, saguaro flesh, most of the barrel family, they carry oxalic acid, alkaloids, and compounds that make your gut throw them right back out, and everything else with them. You vomit out more water than the plant ever gave you. Now there's a fishhook barrel out in parts of the Sonoran that a very experienced hand can tap for a mouthful. But if you don't know which one you're kneeling next to, you don't know. The green pulp looks like salvation on the page. In the sun, it looks like foam on a dying man's chin. Don't gamble your kidneys on a plant identification you learned from a paperback. Number 6, ration your water. Here's the water rule. Every adventure novel gets backwards. When a hero in a book finds himself short, he takes small sips, nurses it, makes it last. That's how you turn a 2-day walk into a body bag. The water in your body cools you and thinks for you. When you sip while you're already dehydrated, your body doesn't absorb it fast enough to help. You end up weak, thirsty, and stupid, with a warm canteen still on your hip. A canteen full at your funeral is a canteen wasted. My rule is simpler, and it's kept me alive. Drink when you're thirsty, walk when it's cool. Plan for the next water source, not the last one. Your body isn't a fuel tank, it's a working system. Give it what it asks for, when it asks. Look at what those books sell you. Shortage panic, hoard it, ration it, extract it from anything green. The mountain works differently. Real survival is system thinking. Read the land, spend your body wisely. Don't try to outsmart what you don't understand. Ration panic is what makes a scared man make small, wrong decisions all day until he's out of daylight. The land doesn't reward cleverness. It rewards a man paying attention. The next 4 are the ones I've seen actually draw blood. Number 5, play dead. There's a scrap of truth in this one, which is what makes it dangerous. If a grizzly sow is charging you because you got between her and her cubs, going flat and covering your neck can convince her the fight is over. That's the only case where it works. Try it on a black bear that's followed you for a mile, and you're a meal. Try it on a mountain lion that's been sizing you up from a ledge, and you're breakfast. Try it on a bear that's already decided you're food, and you've handed him the check. The trick isn't the trick, it's reading the animal. A defensive bear has its ears back, its head low, and it comes fast and loud. A predatory animal is quiet, patient, and interested. Learn the difference or don't camp alone. One rule for every animal is one funeral for every hiker. Number 4, the big signal fire. In the movie, the hero throws his last dry brush on the pile, and the passing plane banks toward him. On the ridge above my cabin, I watched a smoke column go up one afternoon, and I knew before I got to the truck that it was a lost hiker, not a rescue. Because a rescuer doesn't build one fire, he builds 3 in a triangle, 20 paces apart. 3 is the international distress signal. 1 fire is just a man having lunch. The other thing the books get wrong is the fuel. A pilot at cruise altitude sees smoke by day and flame by night, so you build green wood and damp leaves for daylight, and a hot, dry fire once the sun's down. 1 fire, no color, no plan, is a man waving at a plane that never sees him. Here's what I've been leading you toward. Survival isn't a trick you pull out at the last second. It's a habit you already had, or you didn't. The books sell tricks because habits don't fit inside a paperback. A habit is boring. Nobody buys a novel about a man who turned back at the first cloud. The last 3 items aren't skills at all. They're the reasons the first 7 kill people who thought they'd studied for the test. Number 3, rub the frostbite out. This one you'll see in every cold weather film ever shot. The pilot goes down, his hands go white, his buddy grabs them and rubs like he's starting a car. What he's actually doing is dragging ice crystals through the man's own tissue like broken glass. Frozen cells are fragile. Rubbing tears the cell walls of the very tissue you're trying to save. The old trapper's trick of packing frostbitten fingers in snow is worse. It refreezes what you just thawed, and refreezing is the worst thing that can happen to cold injured skin. The right answer is boring. Warm the hand slowly, once in water that feels warm to a healthy hand, and keep it warm. That's it. My neighbor lost the last joint of 2 fingers to 30 seconds of well-meaning rubbing back in 1978. 40 years of a shortened hand from half a minute of a wrong idea. The trick was to do less, sooner. Number 2, head to high ground. Here's the direction every lost hiker instinctively goes, and the direction search and rescue prays they didn't. When people realize they're lost, they climb. They want the view. They want to see the parking lot, the road, the smoke from town. Climbing feels like taking control, and it burns the daylight that would have saved them. Water runs down, trails run down, people live down. Search teams sweep the drainages first, because that's where lost people end up when they finally give up climbing. I've known 3 men who were found downstream from where they went missing. Every one of them had climbed a ridge first and burned a day doing it. The right move is to follow water carefully, stay above the flood channel, and let gravity do the work. Every adventure novel puts the hero on a mountaintop, silhouetted against the sunset, looking heroic. Real survivors get found in creek bottoms looking tired. Your instinct is a bad map. Number 1, you can outsmart nature with a trick. That's the lie underneath every other one on this list. Every entry we just walked through, the suction, the urine, the moss, the pulp, the ration, the ambush pose, the bonfire, the rub, the ridgeline, every one of them is a man reaching for a clever move to beat a situation he should have avoided. Nature isn't a puzzle with a hack. It's a set of conditions you either respect early or negotiate with badly and late. The people I've known who came home didn't know better tricks than the ones who didn't. They made fewer decisions and made them sooner. They carried less certainty and paid more attention. They treated their own confidence as the most dangerous thing in the pack. That man in the Nevada draw, he wasn't killed by a cactus. He was killed by believing the book. Which brings me back to him, kneeling in that dry wash with a paperback in the dust. I don't think about the plant anymore. I think about the voice in his head that told him it was fine. Pick one trick from this list you were quietly sure about. Go look up who put it in your head. A screenwriter, a survival host, an uncle who read the same books. Tell me in the comments which one and who taught it to you. Knowledge weighs nothing. It doesn't need batteries. And unlike a trick, it doesn't quit when the weather does.